Come here to say that was.
Okay, not sure what happened there. We will, of course, let you know as soon as we find out what those sounds were from. Social media helps police catch a Henry County man suspected in two separate. Just a typical day, sunny day at the lake, little, featurey story on tourism at the lake. Nothing controversial, nothing at all. And it was her final hit of the show. We had about maybe 15 more minutes or so left to go. And when you're an anchor, you're not just sitting there watching what's going on. Probably should be, but we've got to check email, we've got to check social media. I'm looking at scripts to see what's ahead, doing all these different things. And I'm hearing her talking in an interview, and then just this pow, 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 like firecrackers. Sounded just like firecrackers. And I look up and I'm kind of like, what is that? And then I thought, did Adam's camera light blow? Was somebody shooting in the distance?
Just knew something was wrong when it happened.
I remember I kind of screamed a little bit, and Sarah immediately popped Kim back up on air. That's why Kim, like when you first see her, she's kind of shocked.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did our teases and then went straight to a commercial break.
Where we're all freaking out because the control room saw it, we heard it, we knew something definitely wasn't right. So,
and what you guys, like what everybody else saw, was only minimal to what was still on air that we could still see on our monitors and what we could still hear. Like all 17 shots we heard, like Adam's hand leaving the camera frame, we saw. It was
like we were there, but we weren't there.
So the first two hits on air, and they went fine. And then the last hit, I watched as I always do, and my head would turn from left to right, watching the screen, watching the signal, just making sure it stays up. And as I was about to turn my head and say, okay, I think she's wrapping up. This sounds like the last question she's going to ask Vicky. As I went to turn my head, out of the corner of my eye, I saw Allison jump and scream. And then again, that's when the shooting took place, and I saw Adam's camera tilt over to the side. And as we went back to air, our anchor, Kimberly McBroom, I then put the signal up on my television full screen, which is now a 50-inch screen. And his camera kept transmitting. It didn't shut off. And his camera was now just transmitting his hand in front of the camera, laying on the ground with his watch, and I could see his watch, his digital watch, ticking upwards. And I cranked the volume up, and I heard more gunshots and more gunshots and more gunshots, and then nothing. And I know what I saw, but I didn't want to believe it. And I quickly went to watch the air check, which is what we record every newscast. I ran in the edit bay to watch it, but there's about a 45-second delay for it to catch up. So as I was waiting for it to catch up, the morning producer, her name was Melissa Ott, that was Adam's fiance, she came down the hallway, with tears in her eyes, going, I don't know what I just saw. What did you just see? And I look over, and I still have Adam's, I didn't want to believe it, but it was his lifeless arm in front of the camera. And so I jumped in front of her and told her, please sit down. We'll figure this out. No worries. We'll get it taken care of. I believe I made up some kind of lie, like, maybe it was some kind of electrical problem. Like, I don't think he's electrocuted, but perhaps he got shocked, and that was the popping noise. It was right. Pretty pathetic lie that, that's the only thing I could come up with. And so sat her down and went back into the edit bay. And by that time, the air check had caught up, and I could see what I already knew. I saw Allison take, several shots, and I saw Adam's camera fall over because he took several shots. And, backed it up again to watch because, again, sometimes in television we see things other people don't, as far as, flash frames and quick edits in video. And I know I saw feet walk by them, and the second time I watched it, I thought I saw a face. So I watched it again and said, yeah, there's definitely a face. And then I watched it again and slowed it down as best I could to capture the image of the shooter. So 3-4 minutes after it happened, I had already repeatedly, watched my friends die.